Hello, my friends, and welcome to another mini social media marketing masterclass. Today, I want to talk to you about branding on social media. We're going to discuss what is a brand, my 4Ps brand framework that I use, the 4P elements that I use to help my client determine their brand and find their voice. And I'm actually going to give you the Create Your Brand step-by-step framework as a free resource that you're more than welcome to use for your own brand. All right, so let's talk about what is a brand. A brand is a collection of associations that people have about a product or business, your business. So what it is, people have personality. Well, some of us have more than one. And businesses have brand. Brand is it's more than just a logo. Your brand helps determine how people feel about your business and how would they describe your business to others. Your brand should be consistent across you should be consistent across wherever your client and your customers interact with you. This should include your physical location, if you have any, your online presence, like your website and all the social media platforms or any of them that you are active at, even your printing materials, your business cards, your flyers. So the consistent brand will help people recognize your business. And no matter where they interact with you, even when they look at your business card, it should actually determine who you are because we're getting used to your brand. So now that we established what is the brand, let's just define it. Here's a simple framework that I help my client through, and I'm going to go through it with you. I'm going to give you that free resource as well for you to use for your own business. So the 4P framework, 4P elements that we go through is presence, purpose, people, and personality. I'm going to go through every single one of them separately to explain what I mean by that. So presence usually is your brand story. We go through as to where and why you started. There's some questions that I go through in the framework. I'll show you with the presence. In the framework of brand creation, with presence, we ask the question, this is where starts the process of creating your brand. So when did you start or launch? Let's say you say, I've started 10 years ago. I started 2 years ago. I know it sounds very simple, but it starts the conversation. Then we ask the question of what problem did you try to solve? You know how sometimes you think about it and you go, there was a gap in the market that I thought I can actually fill. I can help people. And we'll talk about, again, the third question is, how do you solve that problem now? We'll sit down and we'll write down, how do you solve that problem? I'm going to talk about mine. I've noticed that there is a gap in the market for the small business owners. That majority of marketers, some agencies are very expensive, which is absolutely fine, but they deal with the medium and larger businesses. And then small business and startup sort of ended up with people who I call them marketing technicians. They're not marketers, they're just technicians. They know button to press and what to do. They don't understand the holistic part of the marketing strategy or marketing alone. So that's where I found out there was a gap, and that's how I like to help and serve my clients. So that's what I like you to think about. The second one is your purpose. So we are going to go a bit woo-woo here, but as consumers, we like to relate to the brand that we love. We'd like to know why they're there. Why do they exist? And I call it, we like to know the soul of the business. We want to know, I know that you might say, well, I started it because I wanted to make sure I stay at home and look after the kids. I wanted to have my freedom. I didn't want to go to work. I wanted to do this. I had the skill I wanted to do for so many reasons. Making money. That's just so many reasons. But at the end of the day, there's always, it's the values of your business. It's the soul of your business. I know it's important. Everything that you're telling me is absolutely important. But what I would like you to go through is find out what is the soul of your business. So what we go through is when I talk about purpose, we find out, we'll sit down and we'll write down what is our values. We start with, hi, we are SheWeb Media. So depending on your business, we're starting very simple and then we're getting deep. We love, you can list, like we list 3 things that you love as a brand. You can list as many as you like, but start with the 3, and then we go into the brand values. It's very important for you to determine your values from the start. And they can, and as your business grows, your values might change. You might add some values to your current values. And if you're wondering, well, I don't know what my values are, what I would suggest is go and find out the businesses that you interact with and the businesses you deal with, what is their values? And if you resonate with those values, absolutely make it your own, and find out how you resonate with it as a brand. And if you have a team of people, if you're in partnership with a team of people, sit down together and create those values that actually represent your brand values. So that's what we go through. We go through this and we'll sit down and we'll write down. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to know the first time when you sit down and do this. So you can absolutely keep rewriting it till you're very comfortable. And that's why I've given you a big notes section, because it's always the hardest. And the soul of your business, to me, it's very, very important. All right, my third favorite P, the element is people. And what I mean by people is, who do you serve? Who do you talk to? Who is your customer? It is so important for you to think about this, because and trust me when I say, if you're reaching out to everybody, if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody, and it's going to be a losing proposition, and it can sink your business. We are in an era of social selling. We're not in an interruptive selling. We're not on a forced selling or cold calling. So we are in an era of social selling. So if you are talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. Your brand messaging is going to be bland, and it's going to get lost in a ever-growing noise in social media or online. Not to mention your efforts, your marketing efforts will go to waste. So what I would 100% recommend for you to do is sit down and determine who is it that you want to serve. So we get into people part of it, into demographic and the psyche. With the demographic, when I talk about demographic, it's very important, but it's not as important as you understanding the totality of this human. Because as a consumer, we like to be heard. And when you're talking to us as a business owner, as a brand, and you tell us that you get us, you understand us, and you're there to help us, we resonate with you, and we want to do business with you, and we buy from you over and over and over again. And it's very important for your brand to determine who you want to talk to. So I would recommend for you to go through this. Again, any question, please ask. So the psyche is their goals, their challenges, their values, and what book they read. So I want you to get into their head and find out who they are. All right, the last one is the personality. So this is where everyone likes. It's very important, obviously, is your voice and your visual identity of your brand. So it could be, so there's different parts to it. It could be, this is where we determine your brand and the voice of your brand. So what is your business style? Are you a more serious brand, or are you more funny? Are you more formal, or are you more casual brand? So it's very important for you to determine. You might tell me, mine is very funny. We like to have fun. Depending on your customers and what you provide, it's very important for us to know as to what is our style, what we talk about. The colors are important. It's actually a visual cue that help people remember and recognize your brand. Like we talked about with other brands that I brought up earlier, is if you look at them, we all know who they are. Like you don't have to You don't have to think about it when it comes to those brands, to these brands. You know who they are. Obviously, Google says Google. If you don't know, then there's a problem. So it's very, very important for you to determine your colors. This is obviously the fun part. Everyone loves this part, to picking colors and finding out what it is. It is as important as the other 4Ps. With images, when I talk about images, when we're talking about images, pick the ones that you relate to and you will see your business. Like, you look at the pictures and you go, this is what I want my business to represent, and put that in there, because it's 100% is going to help. I know I only put 3 spots, but you can put as many image as you can, because it will help determine the voice of your brand. All right, my friends, so this is the last one. Just do a little recap. Where were we actually? Okay, so do a little recap. We got, so there is a 4P frameworks, which you have a free resource available for you as well to use. So it's presence, purpose, people, and personality. And this is the framework. Obviously, it's available under the file section of the small business social media marketing support group that you can access and use as many times as you like. All right, my friend, hope this was helpful for you. If there is any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. And thank you for listening, and have a fantastic day, and talk to you soon. Bye for now.